The MMA, in the form of the Professional Fighters League, is coming to talkSPORT this week as we keep you across all the coverage from Francis Ngannou's return to the cage. We've seen what happened when Ngannou took to the world of boxing. He had a serious tilt at Tyson Fury, and then he lost to Anthony Joshua, and it was Joshua really who did a bit of a job on Francis Ngannou, but Francis Ngannou regarded as the man in MMA, top fighter in the world of MMA, and he takes on Renan Ferreira for the heavyweight championship over in Riyadh, and talkSPORT is going to be all over this. We are delighted to say, live from Riyadh this lunchtime, Francis Ngannou joins the show. Francis, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am very well. Mr. Jordan to my right, my sparring partner, my co-host, is with me as well. Francis, how excited are you about this upcoming fight with Renan Ferreira back in the cage? That's your natural habitat, isn't it?
Exactly. Like it's been almost 3 years now, the last time I fought in MMA, and to be honest, I'm quite excited to get back. Even though I enjoy boxing while I was doing it, but I had a feeling I'm very happy to be back.
How do you look back on those boxing experiences that you had? First with Fury and then with Anthony Joshua. First time around, many people said you gave Tyson Fury a real run for his money.
What's your question, sir? Excuse me.
Well, how do you look back on it? Because there were two very different experiences against Fury and against Joshua.
Well, I think those were just experience. I have to introduce myself or to the industry of boxing, and the boxing industry of boxing has to introduce itself to me. So it was a great experience, and I think now I had a little bit of that experience. I intend to use that at my best, and potentially in the future get into some boxing match again.
And are you finished with? Oh no, you say at the end there you might get into another boxing match somewhere along the line.
Absolutely. He have always been the plan. I think about it now more than ever, you know, because I understood a lot of things that happen in boxing, the ways that things works. So get me quite excited. You know, I know the rules of the game way more than I did before.
But it didn't go well for you against Joshua, did it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's about the process, the understanding of like what's happened.
I mean, what did you take away from boxing, Francis, besides a big bag of money? But what did you take away? You've got the unique experience of being at the elite level of the two disciplines, MMA and boxing. What was your experience? What did you learn from boxing? What did you take away? Did you think this is nothing compared to MMA in terms of jeopardy and challenge?
With all due respect, the previous question was exactly the same thing that I just responded. So I don't know how to answer. Unless you want me to say the thing that I just said, that's what I should say.
No, but obviously I didn't.
That's what I recently said. That was my experience. I learned. No, I say I learned. I learned what happened in boxing, and I'm very excited about like getting back into, you know,
I was doing a compare and contrast,
Francis.
I was doing a compare. The point I was making, which obviously has evaded you, was that I was doing a compare and contrast, because obviously you have this brilliant situation where you've been in with the elite in boxing and in with the elite in MMA, and I'm trying to get an understanding about the differences between the two sports and the challenge of the two sports.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That was my question.
My bad. Yeah. No, I think again for me is a process, is a journey that I'm enjoyed. You know, no many time people have had the opportunity to get in this situation in their career, that they are they can fight, they can compete in two different sports at a high level, you know. So I think it's something that for me, I'm very blessed for that, and I really enjoy it, and I don't want to let them go. Unfortunately, I don't have so many time left in my career, but while I'm here, I want to enjoy them as much as possible, and that's why I'm saying, like, I still want to do boxing, because boxing was always my first love. Then I discovered MMA,
right,
that gave me all the opportunity to be here today, the opportunity even to go back to that boxing that I loved so much since when I was kid, you know. So for me, it's just enjoying the process, living the dream, you know. We are in the sport that we don't have, in the job that we don't have so many time, you know. We retire very early in our career, like mostly like around our 40s, which is like basically, if we are granted enough, if we are lucky enough, it's basically half of our lifetime, you know, and then you still have the rest of your lifetime. So my point is that when I'm here, I use this moment to do my best, you know, everything that I can possibly do, and enjoy it as much as I can, you know, whether it's boxing and MMA. I enjoy them, and then I just doing it.
Can I ask you, Francis, one of the things...
And then...
Go on, so you finish.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll go. Okay. One of the things that is unique about MMA has been this idea that the best fight the best, and boxing doesn't seem to have that. Lots of politics, lots of belts. How does that play out for you, Francis? You were a UFC heavyweight champion. You're now fighting in the PFL. You've got Tom Aspinall over at the UFC. Do you ever see a situation, I know the PFL would like it because obviously they're following in behind the UFC, but do you have any worries about the fact that you've got PFL over here, UFC over there, and all of a sudden you're going to have something similar to boxing, which means that the best aren't going to fight the best?
Well, I think the situation are a little different. I think MMA is a young sport that is growing with a different organization.
Yeah.
But again, it's all about like promoters coming together to make the best fighting the best. If everyone thinks is the best, when you are in one promotion, you are the best according to that promotion, right? But you will never know. They never put everybody in the same pool to see like who is the best, even though the best fight the best. You know, I think what they say, the best fight the best, the difference here is that in boxing you see somebody that might be the first or the top in the top 5 fighting a guy that is number 100 or 200 something, which is thing that you don't see in MMA. Any fight in MMA is kind of like relevant, makes sense, and then doesn't matter which organization they are at, they need to create that excitement into fan, and that's what MMA brings more in the table. There are less politics in MMA, even though there are still a little bit, but there are way less politics in MMA than in boxing. Boxing is more set about like business, who is in charge, who is in this position, you know, and then what can we do to protect our interests. And I think that's one of the things that I learned in boxing. You know, it's all about it's not about fighter, it's about like a team, it's about a group of people that protect their interests.
Okay.
And that can sometimes can do everything to protect their interests.
So, Francis, very briefly, what can we expect when you get back in the cage against this fellow Ferreira?
Action. Action with some excitement. You know, I haven't been MMA for so long now, and to be honest, I'm quite I can't wait to get there, you know, and find out. But what I know for sure is that there's gonna be some action. I can make prediction, but I don't. Nobody knows what's gonna happen for sure. But I can guarantee you there will be action, because Renan Ferreira on his end is a guy that always bring action, and we will go for it.
Fantastic. Who's more famous in Cameroon, Francis Ngannou or Roger Milla?
Samuel Eto'o.
Francis, well done. Thank you.
Forget about that one.
Thank you so much for joining us live from Riyadh. Good luck when you get back in the cage.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Bye.
Francis, thank you very much indeed. He'd ask you what your question was about. It's a shame he wasn't in studio. He would have thumped you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't listen. I was
Francis,
clearly asking. I was clearly asking him to tell us what the difference is between the two sports were and what he took away from it besides
He
money.
just texted me. What the hell was he on about? Okay, Francis Ngannou live from Saudi.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.